What's up, Deuce? Ready to watch this Exorcist?
I know what you did last summer. Let's watch this movie.
I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace.
And this is Deuce and Ace, Bro to the Movie, with a review.
Sorry.
Are we boring you?
No, I'm just yawning. I'm a little tired, man. It's early.
With a review for
The Exorcist.
Woo. Alright, so I know the promo's been going heavy. You've probably seen it around the world, but we released a promo video for this. And you would have learned that I've been terrified for The Exorcist for the past 20 years.
Yes.
Had a pretty traumatic experience seeing it. My father went to the bathroom, left me alone in the theater at midnight. It was thunderstorming. There was a lot going on in my mental space at the ripe age of 13, and I was terrified. Vowed to never see this movie again, and vowed to not let my younger brother watch this film as well.
Yeah, I've never seen this movie because it was on one time in our house, and Deuce was like, "Oh, Ace, you can't watch this movie," and like dragged me down to the basement while our mom and sister watched The Exorcist. I'm like, what, like 10 years old at this time? I'm like, okay, whatever. So I've never seen this movie until now. But having been scared like Deuce, I've never really understood why he's been terrified for so long. So it was pretty funny watching him watch this movie.
Yeah, so we watched it, and we got our review for you. Please be sure to subscribe, like, share, follow. You're just sleepy, man.
I'm sleepy. I got like 3 hours of sleep, man. Come on.
But, you know, like, share, follow us on social media at Bro to the Movies. So, normally we break our reviews into spoiler-free section and spoiler, but this is an old movie. We're going to do it differently. We're not going to have a spoiler announcement. We're just going to talk.
Yeah.
If you want a spoiler-free version, well, subscribe, watch the movie, and come back. So, yeah, this movie is about a girl who gets possessed, and an exorcism is performed.
There's a lot more stuff going on around the movie, but yes, that is the crux of the film.
Yeah, and so there's a lot more stuff going around, but it doesn't contribute to the movie that much, and that's my gripe about this movie. So, I'm a grown man. I'm not not afraid of anything. The only thing to fear is fear itself. And watching this, and without those fears that I had before, this is a dumb movie. Like,
come on.
This is a lame, like, man. And again, I have gripes against the horror genre in general, just because, aside from this film in the past, nothing scared me. Like, it's just, like, this, like, I'll give it props. You know, there's no technology, so the practical effects and the work during the Exorcist part and the shaking of the beds and the elevating and the throw up and the unmentionable stuff that was happening. Not cool, but, you know.
It was cool, man. Just, like, and I assume this film was filmed in 1972. Just the way that they were able to do so much with so little, I mean, it's super interesting. And not only that, the direction outside of, like, the horror shots are pretty cool. You had the long establishing shots. You had, like, the different camera techniques, man. Whoever directed this film, sorry you didn't look up your name beforehand, put in work.
Said it, like, 2 times.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, put in work, but then it's a gripe I kind of have with older films in general, like, and this is just an example. So you end this film, all of this, with, and I know it's a callback to the early in the movie, but you end this film with the priest and the lieutenant joking about movies. Like, oh, who's in this movie? Oh, let's go get lunch. Like,
I mean, how would you prefer they end the film? Just like, exorcism's over, cut the title.
No, like, as they drove off, cut the title. I think that would have been a better ending. As they drove off and Reagan's waving, see the priest looking at the steps, and he's like, nah, fam, I ain't going down those steps, walks off, pans up to the sky, cut the title.
I don't know, because we established this police character in the past, so, you know, most people just died in this house, so people are going to be like, oh, why wasn't the police looking around? So at least they show you that, yeah, he was investigating, and I like that him and the priest have a little friendship at the end, you know?
What does that add or take away to the movie? Like, it absolutely not, like, just...
It adds character development for these two side characters, who we see them...
How's their development? It's the exact same thing.
It's not the exact same, because before the priest just, like, kind of shrugged him off, but this time, they're buddies now. So it's nice. Friendship is nice.
He was like forced dragged to lunch. He
wasn't forced dragged.
Okay, we're not gonna spend all this time on the priest, and not even the priest who was performing the exorcism. The priest and the lieutenant. So what they do spend a lot of time on is present day that time, but past time Iraq. And as a side note, it was just refreshing to see Iraq and the Middle East portrayed not as villains. Like, there's a lot of culture, and they showed that in this movie, and it's like, we live in very different times.
I mean, it's like we shouldn't have destabilized the region or something, but what are you going to do?
Not talk about that. But, yeah, it was just cool to see Iraq and the little tea kettles and stuff. It was great to see the workers and the archaeological digs. But for 20 minutes on a 2-hour film, for them to have basic callbacks that were vaguely touched on and not explained, not worth it.
It's world building, dog. Cause
there's no world in this. This is modern. This is not X-Men. This is not Avengers. There's no world building.
The world building is that they're on an archaeological dig, and clearly they released the...
Excuse me.
Hair game not on fleek today.
No product yet. Natural journey.
Looks the same. But, you know, and they're on the dig, and they're releasing... You know, they let the demon out that possesses Reagan is the demon that they let out in the archaeological dig. So, yes, maybe it's not... All the stuff they're showing isn't instrumental in the film, but you can say that about any film where stuff is happening. We recently watched... what else did we watch? Oh, we just watched The Witches. There was stuff in that. It was just happening. It didn't add or take away from the plot.
Pause. What in The Witches that took place over the span of 20 minutes did not later reveal itself or have an integral part of the story? What?
Oh, an integral part of the story? That they're like, hey man, the little fat kid, he like, hey, I'm a mouse now. Oh, my parents don't like me. Guess I'll live with you guys. It's just happening to happen. It didn't...
No, it could show why he wouldn't want to go back to being a human and want to be.
Well, it's not about a want. They didn't have a choice to go back to being a human, and he did want to go back to being a human because when they tried in The Witch, spoilers for The Witches if you haven't seen The Witches. So when they tried to do the little reverse concoction, he wanted to do it, he just couldn't.
Again, this is a review for The Exorcist,
and I'm saying you could pick any movie where stuff's happening like, oh, well, that didn't add into the. That's movies, dog. Every single movie has stuff happening, and it's just happening because that's what they want to show in the movie.
Yes, but what I'm saying, when you spend... So this is a 2-hour and 12-minute movie. Like, when this movie is called The Exorcist, and we don't get to the exorcism until the back third of the movie, then I would say...
But who's there in Iraq? He is the exorcist. So... It's called The Exorcist.
And he don't even come back into the movie until the back third either. So I'm saying... Okay, so, again, we're assuming you watch this movie. So, here's my issue. So, Reagan is possessed by the devil or demon or whatever.
I looked at his name. Pazuzu. That's the demon's name.
Pazuzu. So, yeah, she's possessed. We're not really... I know there's probably ideas out there. We are given no explanation other than the Ouija board. And, you know, plenty of people play with Ouija boards. They don't necessarily get possessed. We are given no reason in the film why she's possessed. We're giving no ulterior motives as to why it is her. Like, why? What does what happened in that first 20 minutes of the movie? So you telling me in order for us to see this priest, we had to have that 20 minutes of this dude drinking tea and having like panic attacks or whatever drugs he was taking and stuff?
I mean, clearly they came back later because he just died at the end from
what?
I assume he had a heart attack. Cause
we have no idea. The movie doesn't do a good job of explaining that.
I'm calling it right now. He had a heart attack. Go online, look it up, tell us in the comments.
It doesn't matter what... I'm saying in the movie...
In the movie, it shows that he's obviously old and frail and he's having issues. So later on, when he's going beast mode and exercising this demon, his body can't handle it and he dies.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
They said it like 20 times. Let's say like, it's not that compelling, clearly.
It's the power of God.
You know what I'm saying? The acting wasn't on point in this movie.
Oh yeah, I had no problem with the acting. I'm saying I have a problem with the story and the time spent on stuff that, like, again. So in reality, we could try to extrapolate, but in reality, we see him possession. They're like, oh yeah, let's time out possession. We need to take a break. So he's shaking.
But if someone wasn't asleep during the movie, they would have heard earlier that when this priest did a possession exorcism 50 years ago, it took over a month for him to do it. So we know that you have to, it's not just you keep going.
That's fine.
Wait, time out. And we see the other priest, Damien, he kicks him out. I believe that's why he died, because he was doing it all by himself. When the, I don't know what you call, like, the Catholic elders, the bishops, whatever, they're telling, hey, you're going to need a helper for this, but he tried to do it all himself. That's why his body gave out. Because they show clearly he was able to do it 50 years ago, but he can't do it now because he's older. That's why they're showing.
So 5 minutes ago, you could rewind this video. Please do, help the view count. Also, I did fall asleep, but then I woke up and rewatched it. But so you just 5 minutes ago said it was because of a heart attack. Now it's because he went hard in the paint on the possession.
He had a heart attack because he went hard in the paint.
But when he was taking those medicine and having the shakes in the opening scenes, it wasn't because he was just sitting there drinking cool Turkish. Sorry, not Turkish.
Iraqi. Iraqi, that's what you...
Babylonian, coffee.
It wasn't Babylon. It was Iraqi.
Iraqi coffee. And he's having no shakes. No stress, no whatever. So...
What do you mean, no stress? This dude just uncovered a demon, and you see he's clearly grappling with what's going on. So, clearly, it's some supernatural stuff happening to him, and that's why it's having an effect. It's not like he's like, oh, I'm old, let me pop pills.
I'm saying it's vaguely explained, and we just, regardless of, that one scene he's there going hard in the paint, the other dude, Carras,
like Damien Karras.
Karras. He goes out. Next thing you know, Priest just dead. Like, there's no signs of struggle. Reagan's just sitting there posted up like, dang, he done died. This possession crazy.
Man, it's always like old people shouldn't just be sitting there. There's stuff flying around.
We are not ageist.
We're not ageist, but I'm saying if you're 70 plus and you're fighting a demon, your body's probably gonna give out.
Okay, sure.
I'm saying it's not far fetched to believe that an old man died battling a demon.
I'm just saying, like, the time spent on not modern day, but the time spent showing just like so many people digging in Iraq was not a payoff, and I'm a pivot off of that. So then we get all of this time spent with her mom. Like, we get all this time spent with her being.
It's to make us care about the family.
No, I'm saying, like, we literally have a direction movieception in this movie. It's a movie being filmed about a woman who is filming a movie. Like, there's so much time spent showing that one scene. Like, again,
they spend like 2 minutes showing her on set.
Her Hollywood life and all this stuff. It's like
it's to show that she's just having like a cocktail party while her daughter's upstairs possessed by, or she doesn't know she's possessed. Her daughter's up there having convulsions or whatever the thing's going on. It's to build characters so we know, maybe the daughter's, we know her parents are going through some kind of divorce, so maybe the daughter feels she feels like she can't come talk to her mom. Maybe the mom doesn't. We see her caring for the daughter.
No, you know how we know that's not the case? Because at the end of the movie, they said she has no recollection of any of it. So clearly, this possession takes her out of her mind. So, and that's BS too, because then she did say the bed was shaking. So it's just convoluted.
But it's not convoluted because during scenes throughout the exorcism, she's talking about, there's someone inside of me. But once the demon is out of her, then they're saying she has no recollection. But while they're...
And that makes sense to you?
Demon possession doesn't make sense to me. It's a movie.
Demon possession is real.
That doesn't mean it makes sense. Gravity is real. It don't make sense. 9.8 minutes. It doesn't make sense.
Someone failed physics.
I got like a B or a C in physics. Better calm down.
C, wow.
Dr. Tevitt's class.
Dr. Goldberg, where you at, man?
Dr. Tevitt, please subscribe, Roosevelt. But, yeah. Yeah, I'm saying, you can't, when stuff's talk about the supernatural, obviously they're playing fast and loose with the rules.
So, but you can't. Sure, I can accept that he plays fast and loose with the rules. You can't base your interpretation of the movie and why stuff took so long and was explained based off those fast and loose interpretations.
That's not what I'm basing my interpretation off of. You're misunderstanding me. So you're saying that because at the end they say she doesn't recollect anything, that means while she was being possessed she doesn't recollect stuff. But clearly she does recollect stuff while she's being possessed.
Can we just say remember?
Clearly she does remember stuff while she's being possessed because they're talking to her throughout the thing. They take her to the doctor. They do all this. So they're showing you that she remembers, and they're telling you at the very end she doesn't remember anything that happened. I don't see why that's so hard to accept or understand.
So it's one thing to talk about the ins and outs of possession. It's another thing to say that explanation makes any type of sense. And to me, that is a directorial choice because it's like, oh yeah, we just want her to ride off into the sunset, metaphorically speaking. So yeah, she don't remember nothing.
Well, we haven't watched The Exorcist 2, and we know that...
if we watch this in 1973, you don't know there's Exorcist 2 coming out. We got to take this story within this story. So again, I'm pretty sure that The Exorcist 2 tries to explain a lot of this stuff because in and of itself, it don't make sense.
It does make... You're just being obtuse for no reason. You're just like, oh man, what do you mean she doesn't remember anything? If someone ripped a demon out of you, you may have memory problems too. Neither of us have ever been possessed, I'm assuming.
He's assuming.
Again, that's like saying... oh man, why does when the Hulk turns back into Bruce Banner, sometimes he has trouble remembering stuff? Because it does, dog. Because it's fake.
No, that's like saying my initial question: why did Reagan get possessed? You know, in fact, I found a website that has 7 unanswered questions from The Exorcist. Let me just pull it up because I had all these questions. T-Mobile, come on! T-Mobile, come on! Sorry, T-Mobile was acting slow. Oh my gosh, my phone is so slow. What was the significance of the artifact Father Merrin dug up? Not explained.
The significance of the artifact is that it's the demon.
That doesn't make... Dog, that makes no sense. Because how does that demon then get to... How and why does it possess Reagan?
If you were paying attention to the movie, the father... This is what the Father Merrin says. It's not, again, not a concrete answer, but he said he believes that it's just God testing them. He's when he's talking to the other priest, Damien, he's like, oh, maybe it's just God. Whatever he gives, whatever his reason. You can accept that or you can't. But if it is God testing them, it would make sense why the artifact and the demon that he excavated will come possess this girl, which is...
No, that makes absolutely no sense. This girl...
Which would come possess this girl, which is obviously in an area where he is in, where he would be the exorcist who would have to come and deal with it.
So Reagan's the only girl in Georgetown in 1973.
I'm saying, obviously, it happened to Reagan because the movie's about Reagan. If it happened to another girl, they would have been a movie about that girl. If it happened to some random boy, it would have made a movie about that boy.
Okay, question number 2. We addressed this. How did Reagan become possessed in the first place? Not explained. How did Father Karras or Mom die alone when she was in the hospital? Why did the demon kill Burke Dennings? Also advertisement.
Why does the demon kill anyone?
How does Father Merrin die? Where does the demon go when Father Karras died? So this demon just came all the way from Iraq to possess Reagan to test them. Okay, so no BS. So God's testing them, and God uses demon possession to test people. That's not how God operates.
So God doesn't test Job and just like Satan, do what you want, just hold back and let Job do what he does?
Yes, and we know reading the Bible that the point was to prove Job's devotion to God. He didn't use no demons, and as outrageous as the story is, at the end, God is like, "Hey, Job still honor me." What is the end result of this demon possession?
The end result of this demon possession is it's a movie. And
Question 7: why doesn't Reagan remember anything? It ain't just me. This is the internet.
What website was that?
GamesRadar.com.
GamesRadar.com. You're dumb.
What?
I'm saying you can pick any.
I found multiple websites. I found Reddit stuff. I found all this stuff.
Again, I'm going to go back to another movie we just watched, The Witches. Spoiler for The Witches. Why do the witches hate children? Why are there witches? Why do the witches... What is the witches' plan?
Pause. Regardless of why they hate children, the movie, even if you could be like, oh, why do they hate children? The movie is dedicated to them hating children.
No, but you can't just gloss over... This movie is dedicated to Reagan being possessed. You can't say, well, why was Reagan possessed? The same question, why do the witches hate children?
No. My question, based off why is Reagan possessed, is because if this is a demon in modern day... I don't know why I keep saying modern day Iraq. If this is a demon from historical Babylon, because that's what that statue is from, that's what it's going to be, why? And if because the father unearthed it, so then the story is between the father and whatever. So if that's what the story is about, then too much time is spent not on him and that, or too much time is spent on... I'm saying, like, the movie in The Witches, they don't like kids. But the movie dedicates itself to them having conferences about them not liking kids and trying to get rid of kids. So regardless of I don't care that he found an artifact in Iraq. What I'm saying is the story itself Like, again, this movie's called The Exorcist. It's not called The Historical Origins of a Demon Papoose or whatever. What was the Pazuzu in Iraq. I'm saying, so I'm focused on The Exorcist and The Exorcism.
And who was the second exorcist in this movie? Damien Cares. Damien last name. So, and a lot of the movie is also spent on him and his struggles with his faith. So one of the questions is, oh well, why does his mom die alone? We show where he's talking to his mom, and he, first of all, foreshadowing, he's like, oh man, you don't want to fall down the stairs and die. That's how Damien dies. Good writing. Thank you, director. He falls down the stairs with a demon. And then we see she's stuck in the hospital by herself. He's like, oh man, I can't get her out. And we see time is passing. So old frail woman who's injured, stuck in the hospital by herself while her son's off being an alcoholic priest. What's gonna happen? Old people die. She dies. So it makes sense why she would die alone and why he's not there for her. The movie isn't just about the demon and Reagan. The main character in the movie is kind of Damien.
Dog, that you're just proving my point. So the main character is Damien. I can accept that because, again, I think there's something. In fact, I think the spirit, the demon, got beef with Damien. Like, all his words and stuff are he's manipulating Damien. He's lying to Damien.
I don't think he got beef with Damien. I think he's a lying demon, and he's just trying to manipulate Damien because Damien is there.
So then what's the point of this movie?
What's the point of any movie?
Entertainment?
This movie was entertaining.
No.
Yes, the movie was entertaining.
The story leads to entertainment. This story does not lead to entertainment. This story leads to more questions than answers. There's no true resolution. So, again, where did the demon go? Because he killed himself, the demon now is defeated?
Yes.
Let's go with this thing. This some bull.
It's not so bull. You can't just... If they're saying that that's what happens, why can't United said that? Because Thanos snaps, everyone just turns to dust? Yes. Because,
you're trying to compare fantasy to something grounded in not a Dark Knight reality, no, like grounded in our reality. This is an idea that exorcisms are real, demons are real.
I don't believe the director of this movie like, man, I'm gonna give an accurate depiction of exorcism.
So the demon was able to travel from Iraq to Georgetown, but because it died in a human, it can't travel to another human. That makes no... The movie ain't even saying that. It's easier just to say the movie didn't think this through.
It's not either. That's exactly what the movie's saying. Because the demon died in its human host, then the demon died... Because the human host that the demon was in died, then the demon also died.
But we know that's Exorcist too, so clearly...
Do we know that Pazuzu is in the Exorcist? I don't know.
Google Pazuzu, Pazuma.
I'm not going to, because we got to take this movie at face value. We don't know there's Exorcist watching this.
Nah.
Face value, good movie. Deuce is a hater over here. The Witches is a bad movie.
Let's score this thing, man.
3, 2, 1, 6. 5 out of 10.
5.
Deuce over always coming at me for nitpicking movies, and this guy's wanting to nitpick movies. He's just mad because he peed his pants a la Reagan in the theaters 20 years ago.
I did not urinate myself 20
I'm sorry.
ago.
Defecated his pants 20 years ago.
Hey man, we hope you enjoyed this. I didn't think this was going to be such a heated review, but you never know what you get with Deuce and Ace. But in order to find out what you get, you should subscribe, like, share, follow at Bro to the Movies. I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace.
And this has been Deuce and Ace, Bro to the Movies. Out.
Hey, Deuce and Ace here. Thanks again for sticking around for the whole video.
We're so glad you did. We hope you enjoyed the movie reviews, the trailer reactions, the funny bros, and the quality content. If you do, be sure to subscribe, check out these videos, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bro to the Movies.
Deuce and Ace.